They say Antarctica is a dead continent, a frozen graveyard at the bottom of the world. We were fools to believe them. The wind here doesn't just blow, it tears at you. It tries to strip the warmth right out of your bones. Camille was right behind me, tied to the same safety line. If one of us fell into a crevasse, the other was going down too. The tracker was picking up a signal, not radio, not satellite, something deeper, a pulse coming from miles beneath the ice. And then the storm broke for just a second, long enough for us to see it. A mouth in the glacier. Ice doesn't form in perfect circles. Nature is chaotic. This was engineered. I took off my goggles. The air inside was completely still, and strangely, it wasn't freezing. Camille sparked a flare. We needed to see what the ice was hiding. The tunnel went straight down, a descent into the belly of the frozen beast. We didn't say a word. There was no need. The signal was pulling us in. With every step, the pressure in the air changed. It felt heavy, ancient. I touched the wall. Under a foot of clear ice, I felt it. Metal. Cold, dormant steel. It wasn't just a wall. It was a conduit. Miles of pipes and cables, flash frozen thousands of years ago. The tunnel finally opened up. The air tasted like ozone and old dust. The flare wasn't enough. I hit the main beam. We needed to see the truth. My God. A city. An entire complex buried under the ice. This predates us. It predates the syndicate, the governments, all of our written history. Camille approached what looked like a control deck. It was a fusion of organic stone and brass technology. There were no keyboards, no screens, just impressions, like it was meant to be operated by touch. But the signal wasn't coming from the desks, it was coming from below, from the core. We didn't travel halfway across the world to stop at the front door. We roped up. Descending into the core felt like lowering ourselves into the throat of a sleeping giant. The deeper we went, the more the ice changed. It wasn't frozen water anymore. It looked like amber. We hit the bottom. The air here was almost warm, humid, and there it was, the heart of the signal. A crystalline core tangled in metallic roots. Camille's tracker was overloading. The energy coming off this thing was off the charts. I couldn't look away. It was singing to me, a language I didn't know but somehow understood. Camille yelled my name. She grabbed my shoulder, but I couldn't stop.
Elias, you can't. It's too dangerous.
I pulled off my glove. I needed to feel it. I needed to know what it was. Contact. The shockwave threw me back. It felt like being hit by a freight train. I hit the deck hard. My lungs refused to work. Camille was there in a second. My arm, it was burning. The energy didn't just push me away, it went inside me. I didn't just touch it. I woke it up. The entire complex was coming online. But the ice, it had been frozen for millennia. It couldn't handle the heat of the awakening. The ceiling was coming down. The tomb was collapsing on top of us. Run! I screamed. We couldn't go back up the rope. We had to go deeper. We dove into an exhaust vent just as 100 tons of ice smashed our escape route. Total darkness. Except for me. My arm was glowing like a flare. We crawled out under a catwalk and saw the true scale of what I had awakened. Thousands of pods, a sleeping army, or a seed bank for a world that died long ago. A map projected in the air. Earth, but not as we know it. A map of the old world. Then the gold light turned red, a security protocol. The system realized we didn't belong. Sentinels, guardians of the archive, and they were coming for us. I drew my flare gun. It was a pathetic weapon against this tech, but I wasn't going down without a fight. I fired. The flare blinded them for a second. It hit a power conduit. The resulting explosion bought us exactly 10 seconds. We ran. The entire facility was shaking itself apart. The awakening was too violent for the old ice. We hit a dead end, a blast door. Camille tore at the manual override. The Sentinels were right behind us. I could hear their claws on the metal. The manual lever was jammed. I didn't think, I just acted. I slammed my glowing hand onto the terminal. The door recognized the energy. It accepted me as the key. We slipped through. The door slammed shut, severing a Sentinel's claw in the process. We found an extraction shaft. The platform shot upwards, away from the collapsing city. I looked down. The tomb was gone, replaced by a blinding star of energy. The signal was loose. We broke the surface, back into the freezing hell of the blizzard. We collapsed in the snow. We were alive, but everything had changed. A pillar of light pierced the storm, shooting straight into the atmosphere. The world had just sent a message. The awakening had begun, and the Syndicate was listening. Our secret was out.